I hope everyone's enjoying their 4th of July weekend, enjoying the celebrations and festivities. And as I think about the celebrations, it got me thinking about all the fireworks Tennessee baseball gave us this season. And then after reading Christian Moore's farewell and thank you speech as he looks forward to taking his next step in his career, I think, why not look at the firework worthy moments from Christian Moore in the back half of this season? I'm Paige Dower, and this is the Field Pass. With the 2024 MLB draft quickly approaching, Christian Moore's official thank you and farewell will be one of many that I'm sure Vol fans will hear over the course of the next week. But he took to Instagram earlier today to officially say goodbye and thank you to his teammates, coaching staff, and Vol fans. And if you missed his message on Instagram, I'll read it here and I'll also put up the message on the screen so you can read along with me. But if you're listening online, it in part says, I don't really know where to begin. These last 3 years have changed my life. Thank you for this amazing coaching staff for believing in me, taking a chance on a kid that should have never been in this situation, trusting me to lead a team and allowing me to be me. I will forever be grateful for the long talks, countless hours of work, and most important, the memories shared. And what memories they have shared, especially in this last season. Let's look to the first game in the College World Series against Florida State, where Christian Moore hit for the cycle. He became just the second player ever in the College World Series to hit for the cycle and the third player in the last 6 years for Tennessee to also hit for the cycle at any point throughout this season. His last year was his best year. He had a batting average of 375. He had 111 hits and went yard 34 times. That was also third best in the NCAA. He started all 72 games and he batted in 74 runs. But it was in that moment against Florida State in Game 1 of the College World Series where he was in the ninth inning at bat with a game on the line, obviously, of course, ending in a walk-off hit by Dylan Dreiling. But in that at bat from Christian Moore, you see him turn over to the Tennessee dugout saying, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. And he did exactly that. His teammates talking about that moment after the game and really kind of highlighting the type of teammate Christian Moore has been, especially this last season.
He's my roommate and my best friend since we've been here. So sometimes I give him his credit, but I keep him a little humble. But this is probably one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
You can't ask much of him, especially if after you have a day like that. Especially if that at bat doesn't go the way he wants, so you can't really get mad at that guy. I mean, he'd already hit a cycle. He's already responsible for 3, 4, maybe even 5 of those runs. If I'm being honest, I don't even know. But he's just one of those guys. Like he's gonna go out there and give it your all. Sometimes it's not gonna go through.
Throughout the whole game, the only mindset I have is to win. Get on base for my team, set the tone, want to fight. Down to my last strike there with 2 outs. Just want to fight. It's a battle. Me versus him, mano a mano, and I guess I won that one.
Another shining or firework worthy moment from Christian Moore, of course, has to come in the Knoxville Super Regionals in their 3-game series against Evansville. He had 5 runs, 3 hits, and 4 RBI. Talking to Moore on the field after the game, you could really sense that the moment was really sinking in for him, that there weren't many guaranteed games left after they leave Knoxville. Of course, they go on to win the national title, so he definitely took advantage of those moments. But it was interesting to see that he knew his time at Tennessee was coming to an end, whether he was ready for it or not.
I don't know. It just had a little special kick to it.
Yeah.
It had a little special moment. I don't know. It's just maybe my last one I ever hit here. So much emotions going on, and I think I was as serious and as locked in as I was today than any other game probably this year. And obviously, line on the line, and to really get ball club in that dugout.
And if you missed that interview, this is a good time to subscribe so you don't miss out, or at least you're not late to the party. Those are just 2 shining moments from postseason play. Of course, there are a number more, right? He had 111 hits, 34 went for home runs. He has, a program record in single season home runs. You don't get to that moment without shining game in and game out. But those were just 2 of my favorite in the postseason. But one that didn't get enough attention was his defense, which were decisive throughout this season, especially in postseason play. We saw a number of it against Evansville. We saw it against Florida State, UNC, and against Texas A&M. And I talked to the team in the postgame press conference during their Evansville series about maybe Christian Moore not getting his flowers. And this is what the team had to say about that.
After the double play that this weekend, he looked a little bit like Robinson Cano out there. And I mean, I think I heard it on his own interview on Rally Cap, but that's who he kind of reminded me of this weekend. He was just flashing the leather all weekend, making a lot of diving plays that sometimes it seems like he's just a little bit short on, but I thought this weekend he was phenomenal on the defensive side.
It's a lot of work into it to become better and better each and every day. So I think that work is kind of starting to show off. Making those plays is not an easy thing. And you can't really practice the plays that he'd been making, like the jump throw or dive and play. It's just kind of reactionary and just a pure skill. So it's just, yeah.
So from his defense to his offense, Vol fans and his teammates alike were constantly in awe of what Christian Moore was doing on the field.
Yeah, no, I mean, Simo's unreal. He's playing some of the best baseball I've ever seen right now. So for him to be on our team, I like that. It's always nice to see him continue to hit balls hard and drive in runs.
And some of those at-bats were not necessarily productive, again, on the stat sheet. But I do think when everyone in the lineup hooks it up, then it just makes everybody better. Some greater than the parts is the cliche I used the other day, and I think it fits with this group in particular. And it's been really fun to see. I'm kind of staring now. The top of the order was really good today. But as I've said before, there's parts of the year where it's more just the middle, the bottom, and it alternates. And it makes it a headache for the other team, kind of like they were for us up and down the lineup. Alex hits that homer, and Cantu did as well. It's nice to have that weapon on offense.
And for being honest, it's really probably those last two remarks that led to all the fireworks for Tennessee this season. In 2023, they're trying to find and build chemistry throughout the season. But this 2024 team, they had that chemistry from the start, and it only got stronger as the season progressed. And that's why this team was able to have so much success. When you ask them, they always bring it back to the camaraderie and chemistry that they have in that locker room. In those last two remarks, those last two sound bites, you heard exactly that. And even after winning it all, it was still always and only about the team.
If I didn't talk to him and run my mouth to him, nobody would. Nobody would, and I have to do it, and that's what I do. I let him know.
What are we talking about now?
How I keep you humble.
I mean, yes, you do keep me humble, but I also keep you humble as well. I keep you humble.
How am I supposed to get big-headed? My roommate has 30 home runs.
Bro.
I got freaking 19. How am I supposed to get big-headed from that?
He really does.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do without this guy.
And who else were good teammates? Well, it was Heath Schuler and Jerry Colquitt, of course. And you can learn more about that in our part 2 with Heath Schuler and Jimmy Himes on the Rewind, as the two talk about Heath Schuler's time at Tennessee and what forced him to retire early. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, here's a snippet from part 2.
That had to be a hard decision.
Oh, that was the hardest thing to do. I mean, I had no choice. I mean, it was, I had to retire. I mean, there was no way to physically play again. I mean, because I had no balance, and it's still today. And I kind of blame my bad golf game or lack thereof because I don't have that balance. You got to have your toes help you balance, and so I just don't have that really good balance, and so I kind of blame my really bad golf game on that. But it's I've gotten where the point that my ankle stabilizes me. I want to be a Hall of Famer. I want to play in the Pro Bowl. I want to do all those things, and to have gone through high school and college in such a paved road and just hit a wall.
And if it's still raining by the time this show airs, or if you're just looking for another good listen and watch, I definitely recommend going and watching part 2 with Heath Schuler. And if you missed part 1, you can watch that after part 2, or you can watch it before. It doesn't really matter what order you watch it in. Both of them were fantastic interviews, and it was really fun seeing another side to Heath Schuler and learning about things that aren't talked about too much during his career at Tennessee and in the NFL. But thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe and like to continue supporting everything we're doing here at Full Disclosure, and I will talk with you all on Sunday.